Steve, Driver's 4. Today I'm doing a brake job on the front axle of the tractor. As you can see, got the jack under there, jacked up. Got the lug nut covers off and the hubcap off. I also have the front wheel chock, so I can't roll forward or back. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is take the lug nuts off, get the wheels off. Then I'll be backing off the brake so I can get the drum off. Okay, the wheels are off. And you want to make sure that your truck's got plenty of air, because you need to release the brakes in order to loosen the brake to get the drum off. You'll probably, most of the time, get a nice big hammer and tap around the drum to knock it loose from the hub. Sometimes they come off, sometimes you got to beat them a few times. Alright, that don't fall because I don't have a tripod. The drums are heavy, so be prepared. If you get grip on it, I already knocked it loose. Pull it off. And there you go. Now we're ready to take the brake shoes off. Okay, the way I do it, you got a spring here, and you got one just like it back here. Get a pair of vice grips, get a good grip right here, and you can pull that spring and unhook it, and do the same on the back, and that will release that part, and I'll show you how I get the shoes off from there. Since I got the drum off, thought I'd show you, right there is a little lip on the shoe. And you can see it from the back side when you crawl into the truck, but that's your wear mark. Once you get down to there, DOT is going to fail you. So as you can see, I had just a little bit left. Now these will vary from the inside of the drum to the outside of the drum and the top to the bottom. So you got to look at both the top and the bottom. Obviously you can't see this side when you're doing your inspection because obviously the drum and wheels are on. But just check the top shoe and the bottom shoe, and check your the depth of your shoe. Yeah, I think I cut that last part off. You can see I got the springs off on the front there, and there's a spring on the, I should say, the spring's off the back, and there's a spring on the front. Yeah, there's a spring in there on the front. That's the bottom side. You can't see the top because of the shadow, but I don't mess with that spring. I'll show you why here in a second. Alright, here's how I get these shoes off. The springs are off up here. I just peel that off, pull it around, and the other shoe just comes off with it. That's the easiest way for me to do it. Now it's time to knock them pins out and the sleeve and put the new hardware in. Alright, here's the two pins that the back of the shoe rides on. And a lot of times they'll come right out. Sometimes you got to beat them out. The hard part is getting this little sleeve right here out. It usually takes a punch. There's a split in here all the way across. You find that split, and on this model you can come in from here, take your punch and punch that in and crush it, and then you can tap it out through there. You'll have a new sleeve with the shoe kit to put in. Here's a brake hardware kit that comes when you buy new shoes. Comes with all three springs and all your rollers and stuff. I'll pull this out and set it out so you can see what all comes with it. Alright, what we have here is the pins I just pushed out in the back, and here's the sleeves. You can just barely see that split like I was talking about when you go to knock the old ones out. Find that split if you can and get a punch in there and crush that and it'll come out. So you got your two springs to the back of the shoe and your two pins and your two bushings. You got two pins here. This is what goes through the front of the shoe to hold the front spring on. I'll get to that in a minute. You got two rollers for the front of the shoe that ride on your S-cam, one top and one bottom, and the clips that go on there to hold them into the shoe, and then your big spring for the front of the shoe by your S-cam. Okay, I got the sleeves pounded out, and you want to take if you got a small wire brush, go around the edge of those circles there, right in there. Clean that up a little bit, because the new bushings are a little tricky to get in. They don't just slide in. You kind of got to tap them in, but you got to be gentle, because if you flatten out the end of it, you won't get that pin back in. So I usually use a board or something if I'm going to tap on them to get them in. So we've got to get them started straight and keep them going in straight. And I'm gonna see if I can show you how I get those in there. I got that one just started. Hopefully the camera won't fall. See if I can get in here so I don't block the camera. It's not very much room to work. Just got to kind of take your time, see what side's going in easier or not as easy, whatever you want to call it. Now we're going a little crooked, I can see. It's going to be hard because you got to line up with this side. I did also spray that a little bit to help it go in. So if you got some sort of lubricant, spray in there, it'll help it slide in there a little easier. Now I'm getting close to the other side, and I see the inside needs to go in a little bit. I'll have to get a smaller hammer maybe. Yeah, that's not going to work. It's a little crooked. So, find my rag, or not my rag, find my smaller hammer and see if I can tap that bottom in a little bit. Okay, I got that in all the way. I'll make sure the pin's going to go in fairly easy. They're a little bit tight too. Sometimes you got to go in from the other side. Same thing. I use a board so I don't mushroom out the end of that pin. Now, I'll be in the water. There we go. Now I just got to do the top one. And then we're going to check the S-cam bushings, because I'm pretty sure that they need replaced too. And we'll find out here in a little bit. Alright, that top one went in a lot easier. I must have got it going in straight. When you get off a little bit, they can be a pain. I always try to put the split on this side where I can get to it. So the next time, I might have missed that one. That's right there. The next time I do the shoes, I know that split's there. It's easier for me to tap it in, to crush it, to get it to come out. That split's on the other side. Not too bad. Split's on the other side, you're not going to be able to, it's going to be harder to get out. They can be a real booger. I just dropped my drop light, so I don't have very much light now. But here's the end of the S-cam, and well, it's hard to see, but with me moving, there's a little bit of play up and down in that, side to side. In and out's not too bad. You don't have to worry about the up and down. Actually, those aren't as bad as I thought. I already did the other side. I wish I would have videoed that, because that one I did have to put S-cam bushings in. But this one might be alright. I'll get both hands on it and double check it. Okay, I can't do that with the camera in my hand. Okay, I got both hands on that, and I can just barely move it up and down, so that's within tolerance. You know, it won't be a problem. Now there's a bushing just behind that. It's really hard to see, I apologize, but it's in this tube. It's a plastic bushing. Now to get these S-cams out, you have to take these two bolts up here off, and there's two more down below just like them. And then there's a bolt on a brace down there where your slack adjuster is from your brake cam. And you gotta take that bolt loose and pull the tube off to get them bushings out and the S-cam out, because the S-cam will not slide past the hub. They didn't make a very good job. They didn't do a very good job of designing this. If they'd have put a notch in there, you probably could have got it out. But that's that. So we don't have to do the S-cam bushings on this side. That's a good thing. They're kind of a pain. Okay, here's a new shoe. Now, as you can see, that's where it rests on the pin. Now you got to make sure get these in the right way, because you can see this one is smaller. That one is actually the front. The roller goes on the S-cam up there. Now here's this pin. holds that spring. You find which end you want, or which end belongs on the front for your S-cam, and then this pin will go in here, and there's a hole on the other side obviously. You get it lined up in there, then you got to tap it down in. As you can see, I got a couple pieces of wood down here to set the shoe on, but I don't want to damage the other side of this. So I sure don't want to do it on this rough concrete I'm working on. So a lot of times I have to do this in the gravel, but I have some sort of concrete in here to work on. So anyway, put something underneath it to protect it, because you got to beat that pin in. All right, I got the pin in. You can see, I mean, it's loose in there, but that's the way it's supposed to be. The string will hook onto that inner part there, in between the two, whatever you want to call those on the shoe. See if I can turn that over a little bit. You can see it in there. Anyway, now I'm going to put this roller in, and the clip that goes right in these holes right here. Just kind of clips in there. All right, it's a lot easier with two hands. So it clips on there, and that goes in there this way. Put that in there. You squeeze these in, and this little part right there just pops in that little hole there. So that's all you got to do. Just squeeze it, pop it in there. Okay, that's in there. Yeah, it's loose. That's all right. That's the way it's supposed to be. Just to hold it in there, because you never get it in if you didn't have that little spring to hold it in there. So that's all right. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the other shoe. Same holes. Make sure the right roller. All right, because this cutout's bigger. So that's the back pin. Okay, I got the other one in. I also wanted to mention that when you pound this pin in, I hold it from in here, pound it with a hammer. You got to watch your fingers, because it will pinch you if you're not paying attention. So you got to watch yourself. It takes a little bit of effort to pound that through there, and you got to make sure that the bottom part, you can't see very well, you got to make sure that bottom part's through the hole on the other side. You know, otherwise you're just going to bend it, and it's not going to go through. So you get that in there, and you give it a few taps with a hammer, it should pop right in. Just watch your fingers. Now here's kind of the tricky part. I don't have the fancy tools, you know, that some people have to put these on. I always hook this spring in first. Again, there we go. I can do it with one hand. Now the tricky part, I put them on just like that. So I'm going to set the camera back up there where I had it, and hopefully you get a good shot of how I put these on. Because if you put these on and put the back springs on first, the little ones back here, unless you have the special tool, you will not get this spring in there, because there's no room. So I just put it in first and put them on that way. So hopefully this will work out, and you'll be able to see how I do it. Takes a little bit of finesse, but you know, it can be done. I've done it many times. All right, here we go with the fun part, the finesse part. Pick them up, make sure that spring stays on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swing the bottom shoe underneath. Get this one up here, close. Now the tricky part, getting that down there and over a little bit. Sometimes you got to move that shoe out of the way. If I can get this up on that S-cam, there be good. Now, top shoe's on. So all I got to do is get the bottom one in. I do the top one first because it's easier to push down and spread those springs open than it is to pull up. So I get that spun around. And again, watch your hands if you get pinched. It helps if you can see. I guess I need two hands. Okay, so grease on my hands. I want to get the grease on the shoes. Yeah, that just went in there just like that. Now make sure that my rollers didn't pop out when I put the front in. Springs are still in there. Everything's good. My big spring is in there. That's all good. All I got to do is drop these small springs. I guess while that camera's rolling, I'll show you how I did these springs, or how I do them. Same thing when I took them off. Get right here in the bend. Get a good grip on them. Put that in there. Lift up. Oops. Sometimes that happens. Try going down. Not a very big stretch, so it's usually not too hard. Make sure it's in there right. I don't know, I might block the camera if I do the way I usually do it, so I'll try a little different here. Find the hole. Ha ha ha. No pun intended. Make sure your vice grips are on good. Make sure they're a good pair. And voila, shoes are on. Now we're going to clean up the drum, the new drum, clean the oil residue off the inside, and slide it on there. Alright, what you want to do, you got to clean the oil residue off the inside of that drum, and for some reason I can't find my brake clean. It was actually on the other side of the truck, and it's actually not brake clean, it's just carbon choke and parts cleaner. But I guess I should move that broken top light out of the way. Wear that in there. Nice clean rag. And wipe it down good. You don't want that oil in there, your new shoes. Doesn't take much. Now, I'm going to take my old rag. Just make sure that I got no debris on my hub here. I want that drum to seat up nice. Looks pretty good. Now, the heavy work. Pick the drum up, don't fall. There you go. All you do is put your wheels back on and then adjust the brake up and you're done. There's the brake job.